Welcome back. My topic today is on women, and this topic is very close to my heart because I spent time talking to women 4 years ago, and I spoke to more than 1,000 women in this country. Of the 1,000 women that I spoke to, a few things came out that were very clear. And it wasn't shocking because if you look at the way the structure and the day of a woman goes on a daily basis, you'd be able to tell that that data is correct. I spoke to women in Kisumu, I spoke to women in Meru, in Mombasa, in Kisii, in Eldoret, almost all the major towns in Kenya. And my question to them was, what's the most important thing in your life? And the first answer that I got from every single woman was their spirituality. They had another list of things, and it was in this particular order. The 5 most important things to any woman in Kenya. Because having spoken to 1,000 women and more than 90% of them stated this, I believe it's true to most of the listeners today. Number 1, God. Number 2, their health. Number 3, their family, especially their children. Number 4, the education of their children and their own ongoing education. Number 5, the community. And finally, the legacy that they would leave. Of these 5 things, the reason they were in this order is because they believed that they are whoever they are today because of God. They are able to do everything they are able to do today because they are healthy. And in essence, they do everything they do today because they care about their families, they want a bright future for their children, and they want to give the best education to their children. It doesn't end there. It's not just education. Even speaking to women in Kibra, they were very clear that they don't dream around where they live. They believe there are scholarships, they believe that God exists, and they believe that their children will study in Australia, they will go to school, in the universities in South Africa, and they were not limited by their situation today. And so when speaking to them, it was very important that we elaborate and give them more information about how the future of their children and what kind of education is available out there. Another thing that was very clear was that they do not want to succeed alone. And the reason they don't want to succeed alone is because they believe that they are here to leave this place better than they found it. So you will find women in community projects. You'll find women in the churches. If you go to most of the churches today, the highest percentage of attendees are women. You'll find women in schools coming up with projects and propositions that can assist the school to get better. You'll find women in chamas. You'll find women in associations that are supposed to help the needy in the community. You'll actually find women are the caretakers of the sick and the old in the society. Women are very concerned about the legacy that they leave. So concerned that a specific group of 15 women I spoke to, 3 of them said that they took loans to actually buy land and construct a home, even though their significant other was not interested, because they believed that a family requires a place they call home, and they also believed that that is what they would leave for their children. And they think about legacy as life beyond them. That's why you'll find, especially in Kenya, that women are very concerned about what will happen to their children when they're not here. They may not be sophisticated or thinking to the highest levels of insurance and things like that, but they are very clear in terms of discussions around inheritance and what do their sons get out of their ancestral land. Women have been known to actually get married more than once for the sake of their children, to create a stable home for them and to actually create property that their children can establish a home in future. Some of the interest statistics that I would like to share with you are that, did you actually know that women in Africa invest up to 90% of their income into their families and in their communities? 90% of what the women make, they will invest it within their families and their communities. Their immediate family, their extended family, their family of origin, the family where they're married, and the community within which they operate, and even in the churches and the programs that help develop the society. Now, you can imagine how this statistic is very significant. It means that if you want to change a community, it means that if you want to change the society, then you need to be looking at how to work with the women, because whatever wealth they make, whatever income they make, they will take it back to educate, to feed, and to improve the community and their families. Another very important statistic that excites me about women is 1 in 4 female adults are actually running a business or starting one in Africa today. Look at the university students. You'll find that among those girls in university, there's one who's selling makeup, there's one who's selling hair, there's one who's selling jewelry. They are always thinking about starting something, whether it's the main business or the additional income. That means that in the event that an investor wants to put money in a community, the first place they should look at is, how can we get women to participate in this whole investment opportunity? Because this statistic indicates that 1 in 4 females are starting or managing a business today. The most interesting one, and this is not just in the financial industry, it's also in our lives. Women's creditworthiness. Women are creditworthy. Women are excellent payers. I can tell you that today, if you had 50,000 shillings and you are going to lend it to a family member or to a friend, chances are that you'll get your money back sooner when you lend it to a woman, for the simple reason that women are very uncomfortable with debt. They don't take very high risks when they have to borrow money. And if they do borrow somebody's money, they are going to make sure that they return it. There is also there is a certain percentage of women who will struggle with repayment, but generally statistics show that they are creditworthy, they pay faster, and they are interested in being debt-free. The other thing that makes a case for working with women is the fact that Africa's population, more than 50% of it is women. So you have more than 50%, so you have more than 50% women in Africa. You have 1 in 4 running a business. You have a situation where they pay very well, they're very good payers, and they can be trusted with money. And you have a situation where they are spending more than 90% of their income in the family and the community. Why would you not invest in women? And as a summary, the women's priorities are as follows: God, health, family, education, community, and the legacy. Thank you.